Welcome back. Kevin's Mobile Repair, 2014 Mazda 6, 2.5 motor, doing a serpentine belt, power steering belt, or is that a water pump belt? Either way, stretch fit belt, and the belt tensioner itself. So, there is a big bracket, that puppy right there. It sits right here, so I had to jack up the motor up and down in order to be able to get access to even the belt tensioner. See this right here? It's a 17 millimeter, and that's what you use for the fulcrum point in order to get the belt loose. So what I did was jacked up the motor up all the way, was able to get on the original one the tensioner tool, which is going to be like one of these. This one's ratcheting, then has an extension like yay for increased leverage. But I was able to get it from this angle right here. Starting off 12 millimeter bolt right here at the top, 12 millimeter down there at the bottom, then the tensioner itself comes out. Lower the motor all the way down so that the bolt can extract itself out far enough in order to get it to slide out. And it also, you can't see it here, but the bracket that it sits in is a, I want to call it, if you've ever done an alternator, it's just a slide-in bracket. So in other words, the bolt doesn't have to go all the way through, but the bolt itself has to come out far enough, and you can slide it and the tensioner itself up and away. As far as the little mini stretch bolt or stretch belt, I just use a razor blade to cut it off. Going back on, you can use your hands for this one. This one's not like a Ford that requires a special tool. So the 22 millimeter socket for the crank right there. What you do is you can put it on the crank side, get you a ratchet with the 22 on there, start it up at the bottom, use like a screwdriver or something just to hold it on there so that way it doesn't pinch your fingers, and then just slowly start rotating the crank until it walks itself all the way around the pulley. It will likely walk itself off, or not off, but into the other groove on this side over here. You can just keep rotating it and use your fingers, pushing it until it gets back into that one groove. Then going back together for this one, once you have that tensioner installed, it's just crank, AC compressor, alternator, and the tensioner pulley itself. So this one's a no-brainer on where the stuff goes. Now, I couldn't put the belt and stuff up top, which I was hoping to do. So what I did is I put the tool on there, then I used a pry bar like yay. Once the tool was bent all the way back of this into its full extension, I was able to use a pry bar to wedge in between here, so that way it held it in place. Then I went underneath the car and I was able to slip the belt on with no problem. Or you can have two people, someone hold it over, someone go underneath where the wheel well area is at. A little splash shield's got to come off there. It's just push pins, and then you gain access to all that kind of good stuff. And then once that is installed, everything is good, jack the motor up some, and then take your bracket right there, slap it back in, and those are 17 millimeter bolts. Got 3 nuts, 2 bolts, and then also took off the AC line right here to give me room, especially for the tensioner tool, so that way it didn't hit up against it and having kind of issues. But other than that, another engineering what the F, but I got it done, needless to say. Any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know.